This one's a doozy. Vf squared equaling to Vi squared plus 2AD. To solve this one, we'll need two equations. The first equation is an earlier one, delta t equals V initial times time interval plus 1/2 A time interval squared. The second equation we need is our acceleration formula, where it's delta V over delta t. Solving for time, we're going to multiply both sides by time, and we have delta V equals A delta t. Divide both sides by A, and we have, that's 1, this is 1, so now we have delta t equals delta V over A. We're going to expand delta V so that delta t is Vf minus V initial over A. We're going to go back to our original equation, number 1, and wherever we see delta t, we're going to sub in V final minus V initial over A. So now our function looks like this. Delta t equals V initial times V final minus V initial over A plus 1/2 A Vf minus Vi over A squared. We're going to distribute the Vi in the first term, and it becomes Vf minus Vi squared over A. And on the second term, we're going to simplify it so it's A over 2 times Vf minus Vi over A squared, but we're actually going to multiply it. So we're going to square it. Vf minus Vi over A, Vf minus Vi over A. So we get delta t equals Vi Vf minus Vi squared over A plus A over 2. We're gonna multiply these two binomials, so using FOIL, and we get Vf squared minus 2Vf Vi plus Vi squared over A times A squared. One of these A's cancels out those two A's, so now we're left with just A. I'll just clean it up a little bit. Vf minus Vi squared over A plus, and we're just going to multiply the denominators and numerators, and we get Vf squared minus 2 Vf Vi plus Vi squared over 2A. To remove the denominator 2A here and A here, we're going to multiply everything by 2A. So this by 2A, which makes 1, and this by 2A, which makes 2, and we'll have to multiply that by 2A too. So now we have 2A delta t equals to 2 Vi Vf minus 2 Vi squares plus Vf squared minus 2 Vf Vi plus Vi squared. Here we have 2 times Vi times Vf, and we have negative 2 times Vf times Vi. That and that will cancel out. Here we have a single Vi squared, and here we have minus 2 Vi squared. So grouping that will leave us 1 Vi squared. That gives us 2A delta t equaling negative Vi squared plus Vf squared. To isolate Vf, we'll add Vi squared to both sides, and we get Vf squared equaling to 2A delta d plus Vi squared. It can also be rewritten as Vf squared equals Vi squared plus 2AD. There's our final answer.